Good afternoon, one and all. In previous lecture, we have seen about the concept of semiconductor, but we should know there are various types of semiconductors. What are those? The semiconductors are basically again classified into two types. They are intrinsic semiconductors, and second type is extrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductors are again further classified into two types: N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor, which we have seen while discussing the concept of semiconductor diode. P-type material, N-type material. P-type semiconductor, N-type semiconductor. What is P-type? Actually, P-type semiconductors are nothing but extrinsic semiconductors. Then one should be curious about the distinction between or distinguish between intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. You may ask, what is the difference between extrinsic and intrinsic semiconductors? Intrinsic semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductors. You see here, these are the two types of semiconductors. And if we go further, then we will come to know that intrinsic semiconductors are pure form of germanium, silicon, and so on. Whereas external semiconductors are two types: N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor. Again, question arises: what is N-type and what is P-type? In a very systematic way, we are discussing this. In case of N-type semiconductor, pentavalent impurity like phosphorus, arsenic, etc. Actually, these are the what? Donor impurities. And here, in case of P-type, as I have told you, we are in a very systematic way we are discussing it. So, extrinsic, two types: N-type, P-type. N-type in the sense pentavalent impurities are added in the semiconductor. We say it is a extrinsic N-type. These are the donor impurities. And in case of P-type, trivalent impurities are added. These are also said to be what? Donor impurities. Trivalent impurity, here pentavalent. In case of P-type, trivalent impurities are there, and in case of N-type, pentavalent impurities are there. I mean, from this it is clear that you might have understand that extrinsic semiconductors are not pure. Some impurities are there. I mean, these are impure. Then, what are the actual majority carriers in this type? And here, what are the majority carriers in this type? These things we discuss. Now, at present, you remember, semiconductors conductivity lies between conductors and insulators. Basically, two forms, two types of semiconductors: intrinsic semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductors are what? Pure form. There is no any mixing, there is no any impurity in case of intrinsic. And extrinsic, there is the impurity added in the pure form. It gets mixed here. Then two types of semiconductors are formed depending upon the what type of impurities are added in it. If pentavalent impurities are added to pure form, then it is N-type, and trivalent impurities are added to the pure form, then it is said to be P-type. Got it? Then let's turn towards an intrinsic semiconductor. Let's discuss in detail. An intrinsic semiconductor is an undoped semiconductor. Undoped means there is no any mixing, there is no any addition. We say there is no doping. Clear? In electronic language we say there is no doping of any impurities in it. Such a semiconductors are said to be intrinsic semiconductor. What it means? This means that holes in the valence band are vacancies created by electrons that have been thermally excited to conduction band, as opposed to doped semiconductors where holes or electrons are supplied by foreign atom acting as an impurity. Silicon lattice you see, it is an example of intrinsic semiconductor. You see silicon here, Si4 here. Here valence hole is there. Conduction electrons, these are the conducting electrons. Conduction holes here. So semiconductors can be broadly classified into intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductor starts conducting at a temperature above the room temperature. This point we have to remember. I mean, these semiconductors do not conduct below room temperature. Then is it its drawback or not? Surely it is a what? Drawback, or we say there is a limitation to the intrinsic semiconductor. It means below room temperature they will not conduct. So in order to conduct the intrinsic semiconductors, what is the necessary condition? The atmosphere, the temperature, surrounding temperature should be more than a room temperature. It should be above the room temperature. Here it is given, start conducting at temperature above the room temperature. Developing important electronic devices using this can pose a problem. From this it is clear that in order to develop the important electronic devices with the help of intrinsic semiconductors, they cause a problem. As they do not conduct, as they doesn't conduct below room temperature, so they cause a problem. So this point you remember. You can say, whenever question is asked, what is the distinction between or distinguish between intrinsic and extrinsic? So you should know that these conductors, I mean these semiconductors, conduct above the room temperature. This leads to need for improving the conductivity of intrinsic semiconductor. I mean, this limitation of the intrinsic semiconductor, it is a problem for in order to develop important electronic gadgets, devices. So this is a problem to us, and that problem is to be solved. That problem we have to improve. It is improved in another type of semiconductors. What is the other type of semiconductor? Extrinsic semiconductor. Already we have seen extrinsic semiconductors are again of two types. Experimentally, it is observed that an increase in the conductivity of semiconductor when a small amount of impurity was added to it. What is given? Whenever small amount of impurity is added to the pure semiconductor, then surely there will be an increase in the conductivity of the semiconductor. You know, pure water, if we collect in a beaker and if we test, or if you try to electrolyze, it will not conduct. But whenever you add salts, if you add, and if water is made contaminated, then it will conduct. What it means? Pure form of water doesn't conduct, and impure form of water conduct. So likewise in semiconductor, pure semiconductors, they conduct only at or above the room temperature. And in order to solve this problem, impurities are added to the pure semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductors are formed. These materials are extrinsic semiconductors or impurity semiconductors. Another term for this material is doped semiconductor. I mean, impurities are added. Instead of added, better to use a particular word, that is doping. Doping of impurities is done in case of extrinsic semiconductor. Another term for this material is doped semiconductor. Instead of extrinsic semiconductor, we can say that these are the doped semiconductors. The impurities are dopants, and the process is said to be what? Doping. An important condition to doping is that the amount of impurity added should not change the lattice structure of the semiconductor. Amount of impurity, one has to concentrate on the amount of impurity which we are doping in it. So, by doping of impurities, there should not be the change in the structure or in the lattice structure of the pure form. To achieve this, the size of dopant and semiconductors atoms should be the same. But you are getting it or not? To achieve the size of dopant and the semiconductor atoms should be same. Again, types of dopants in extrinsic semiconductors. Crystals of silicon and germanium are doped using two types of dopants: pentavalent valency, like arsenic, antimony, phosphorus, etc. Trivalent impurities like indium, boron, aluminum, etc. I mean, these two types of dopants are utilized to form extrinsic semiconductors, pentavalent and trivalent. Their examples are also I have shared with you. The reason behind using these dopants is to have similarly sized atoms as the pure semiconductor. Both silicon and germanium belong to the fourth group in the periodic table, I mean the modern periodic table. Hence, the choice of dopants is from the third and fifth group. This fifth group, hence, the trivalent and pentavalent choices, these dopants give rise to the two types of semiconductors. They are what? P-type and N-type of semiconductors. What is P-type? What is N-type? What about their structures? All these things we discuss in next lecture in detail. Now, let us stop here. Thank you. And if you have any problem, please let me know.